Today, we gather to honor Macy's chairman and CEO Jeff Gannett and retired graphics producer Jeff Welch, Tony Award-winning actor and Emmy nominee Matthew Broderick, the voice of the New York Yankees, Michael Kay, and the Ashok C. Sonny All-Star Dad, Tommy Parker. We would like to thank our chairman sponsors for supporting today's event: WHP Global, G3 Apparel Group, Peerless Clothing, PVH, and Ralph Lauren. Now, please direct your attention to the screens as we celebrate 81 years of honoring fathers.
There's no higher calling than to be a good father.
Abe Lincoln, our 16th and tallest president, once said, "No man stands taller than when he stops to help a child."
Love is spelled T-I-M-E, spelled time.
Spending time with them is without a doubt the highlight of my day every day.
I'm actually grateful to my children for making fatherhood such a joyful, educational, emotional, frustrating, and very often rewarding experience.
I'm the most proud of the ability to find time in the middle of a very busy life to be a father first.
And I want to acknowledge my father, and he's the one who encouraged me to go to college and to be able to eventually have more than he.
I grew up knowing I had to do the right thing because I wanted to make my dad proud, and I never wanted to disappoint my mom.
So Mom and Dad, my life started with you always being there for me and teaching me right from wrong.
There is nothing better than seeing them open and learn and smile and grow.
The commitment to nurturing the dreams of your children. I think as parents, we all know the importance of that.
This very simple hug that I was able to give to my grandkids was for me the most important thing in the world.
There's something that happens in that moment. It happened for me in the delivery room when I first met my daughter in those first seconds, and a homing beacon is turned on in your heart, and you want to be where that person is.
There's an old proverb that a father carries a picture where his money used to be. And there's nothing I'd rather carry through life than my amazing family.
People say, what's it like raising teenage girls? Here's my line: I love you. There is nothing you can do to make me stop loving you, so stop trying.
There were many days, folks, I had to go outside the house and look up and say, why? Please help me, dear God. What don't I understand?
It's quite a tradition to be part of. The fact for 74 years, these awards have existed to enhance the meaning of Father's Day.
Being a father is a noble, a loving, and certainly a unique experience.
I can't think of anything that I would rather be considered by God and everybody else than to be a good father.
And seeing my daughter still makes me happier than anything else in the world.
She says, "Daddy," and then I'll do anything in the world for her.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of our national anthem. Welcome to the stage from New Canaan High School in New Canaan, Connecticut, Henry Tate, Matthew Doka, Bennett Gropper, and Daniel Yu.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
from stripes and bright stars, through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please welcome to the podium President and CEO of the Father's Day Mother's Day Council, Dan Orwig.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Henry, Matthew, Bennett, and Daniel. That was incredible. Great job, guys. Thanks for being here with us today. My name is Dan Orwig, and as President and CEO of the Father's Day Mother's Day Council, it is my honor to welcome you to the 81st Annual Father of the Year Awards Luncheon. As we begin our program, please feel free to enjoy your lunch. I'm going off script here a little bit because look at this room. So I've been doing this a little while. The most we've ever had in a room is 710 people. Today, we have 907 people here. And you know what matters most is raising money for kids, and the most we've ever raised at this luncheon is $1,350,000. It's a heck of a number. Today, before the event even started, we're at $1,875,000. Not a bad comp. Okay. We're honored that you've all taken the time from your busy schedules to join us here today in recognizing the 2023 Father of the Year honorees. Jeff Kinnett, Jeff Welch, Matthew Broderick, Michael Kay, and Tommy Parker show unbelievable dedication to their families, passion for their careers, and leadership in public service, and are most certainly deserving of our recognition today. We're delighted to have some of our past honorees here with us today. If you could please rise when I call your name. Morris Goldfarb, Tom Kingsbury, Terry Lundgren, Joe Rivers, Mike Satola, Tony Spring, and Ronnie Wurzberger. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us here today. I'd like to personally thank everyone here today for their continued support. In particular, our chairman sponsors, G3 Apparel Group, Peerless Clothing, PVH, Ralph Lauren, and WHP Global. And our presidential sponsors, BCI Brands, Macy's, One Jeanswear Group, Sani Family Foundation, Spark Group, and S. Rothschild. Thank you for all that you do to make this event possible. I also want to thank our committee members who volunteer their time and work so hard to make this event so special. Will the Father's Day Committee please stand to be recognized? They're out there somewhere. I also want to take time to honor the incredible leader of this organization, who has dedicated countless hours to making Mother's Day and Father's Day events unforgettable for the past 12 years. Mr. Dana Verrill. Where is he? There he is. This is Dana's last year leading our organization as executive director. He'll be retiring to spend more time with his beautiful children, grandchildren. There they are. We'd like to recognize him with our sincere appreciation and gratitude for all that he's done to make these events so successful. Thank you, Dana. You join me on stage. Let's give a big round of applause. I got something for you. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, now I'd like to take an opportunity to introduce my partner and co-chair, Sam Archibald, who's going to share more about our commitment to Save the Children and how you can support.
Thanks, Dan. A very casual introduction. And hi, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Sam Archibald. I'm co-chair of today's Father of the Year Awards Luncheon. I'm really honored to be here with you. I want to begin by giving another round of applause and congratulations to the honorees. We are thrilled to honor 5 inspirational dads who are well respected in their roles and have an unwavering commitment to their families and philanthropic efforts. To Jeff and Gio, when you accepted this honor, we did not know what was in front of us. Jeff, in your 4 decades of service, you have touched countless Macy's colleagues, partners, and communities. Not only have you given to your family, but you've given to many of us in this room. You've engaged us in strengthening, elevating, and transforming the people and culture around us. And we and I just want to say thank you. Now to bring the focus back, the Council has donated more than $35 million to date to deserving family-related charities nationwide. We are really proud to be donating the proceeds from today's event to Save the Children's U.S. programs and advocacy. I mean, I feel blessed. We're also fortunate in this room having the opportunity to alleviate the single greatest threats to children's well-being, poverty. Poverty in our country drives persistent challenges for children, including hunger, low education outcomes, lack of access to healthy food, and opportunity. These issues hinder children from reaching their full potential. Through its commitment to breaking the cycle of poverty, Save the Children strives to ensure that the most underserved children in America are ready to learn by the time they begin school. We want to help kids thrive academically and ensure they are healthy and active, safe and protected when disaster strikes. And now I'd like to introduce today's Master of Ceremonies, Nate Burleson, who will speak more about how our donations today are helping put kids to the path of school success. Nate is a current co-host, you have too many jobs, man, it's like, co-host of CBS Mornings, CBS NFL Today analyst, and Nickelodeon broadcaster, a very well-dressed man, and Nate himself is a father of 3 with his wife, Atoya.
Everybody doing all right? I know you guys are all dressed up, but we're going to have some fun today. I want this to be engaging. I want you guys to be lively. We're going to give back, and we're going to change lives. Sam, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. Many thanks to the Father's Day and Mother's Day Council for having me. I am honored to be here, and I truly do mean that, to help do my part to support Save the Children's U.S. programs and advocacy efforts across America. This year, the Father's Day Council was able to speak to several of those that were impacted by the work Save the Children has done, and we are thrilled to show you a short video. Take a look.
My name is Jacqueline. I'm the mother of Jacelyn. She was born with a hole in her heart and she has Down syndrome. The worst part about it was the surgeries, but everything after that has been good. She's a fighter. It's hard. It's just that I was trying to not let the other kids see, the stress. I didn't want to put my stress on them, so I had to just be superwoman.
Mom was overwhelmed. So much going on. This is her baby girl. Mom needed comforting, and she needed to know how to comfort Jacelyn when she got overwhelmed. With the Early Steps to School Success program, I go into the homes to do brain building activities with family because we know that parents are our children's first teacher. So we just encourage them that they have everything it takes for their child to develop and do everything they need to succeed.
Mine. Helped her to talk more. It's helped her to be able to adjust to being around other kids. When I try to read to her, no, she want to read to me.
She loves to turn pages in books. She loves to draw.
She loves to be the boss. In this program, I've learned how to just mellow out, be calm, because I used to panic. So now, it really helps me to teach her more by just being calm and just relaxing.
If not for the Save the Children program, where would some of these families be? What would they be doing?
I know I can't do everything by myself. It's like we're part of another family. Like we have more families than what we already had.
My name is Paris and I am 10 years old. I didn't like to read because it was just stuff in the book that I didn't know, so I didn't want to read.
Paris is a hard worker. She's smart, she's dependable, she's driven.
When she first came in, she was a struggler reader. She didn't really know too much about how to read a book to comprehend. So with Save the Children, we help them with reading.
Fan. We used to do activities about reading. If we stuck on a word or we don't know stuff about the book, they would help us to and make us understand it a little bit more. Now I'm doing better by reading comprehension and my reading skills.
When she came home from school, she was already reading, did her homework, and she became more confident since she started the Save the Children program.
I love my job because I get to help students with their reading to help them better themselves to become a better reader for today and in the future.
I want to be a pediatric nurse because I want to help save somebody's life. I feel like I could do anything.
I hope and pray that Paris live out her dream of helping others and families. It makes me feel like I think I'm doing my job as a mom.
That's awesome. It's great to see because I've always felt like we will not be remembered for the steps that we make to improve our own lives, but the footprints we leave behind that will make it easier for those that will come after us. I want you guys to give yourselves another round of applause. It's great to see everybody here today. I love seeing the faces. I love seeing the bodies, which is a perfect segue into what I want to do next. I want you guys to follow me. So everyone, please grab your phone, take it out of your pocket, inside of your jacket, your purse, wherever it is. Go ahead. I'll give you some time to do that. I want to show you how you guys can each contribute to what we have going on, the ongoing success of this amazing initiative through our Text to Pledge program. Yep, I just set you up. You already have the phone in your hand, so it's all good. By following these few simple steps, you can contribute any amount to Save the Children. Right now, you can make your pledge, and it will appear on the screen. And here's how you can participate. It's very, very simple. First, you open up your text message on your phone, and then you enter the number that you see on the screen, 203-309-0782. And there is a number on the table, but I'll say it again for those who are squinting right now. I'm not making fun of you. I have glasses too. 203-309-0782. You put that in the address line, just like you're texting somebody, and you can send out a message. What you do is you type your name, your company name, the amount you want to pledge, any short message if you want. Or you can just simply send it, and you can do it anonymously, and your donation will still go through. And to prove that I'm already involved, I sent out one earlier, and I'm not sure if you could find it, whoever's responsible for putting these on the screen. But we want to make sure that as soon as we kick this thing off, the first donation is going to pop up right here. And I want you guys to help do this. But before we get to that, your tax-deductible donations will support children and families in need and immediate relief around the world. I had to make sure I said tax-deductible because there are a few things you want to hear before you pull out your wallets, which is tax-deductible, gratuity included, and I'll pay you back when I get a chance. So let's see who is going to be the first to make a pledge. You got it? Boom. Oh, wow. Oh, that's coming in fast. See, that's what I'm talking about. I love that. $1,000 in honor of my father's 95th. $500, $1,500. You can make any donation you want. And we're going to be doing this all day long. And I sent mine in there. It was earlier. It said MC Chocolate, $1,000. So I am already involved. And that's a true story. I'm not making that up. So I appreciate you guys. And as soon as you feel the vibe, you catch the spirit, you can send a text in immediately. And we're going to be doing this throughout the day. We'll continue to do check-ins. And I love that we are already at record numbers. Let's go ahead and make this day special. Because it's one thing to walk away with a full stomach. It's another thing to walk away knowing that you helped change lives. And that's exactly what we're here to do. I'll continue to point to those throughout the day, and I'll be back to update you with the exact number. Because I want to make sure we have a mark, we set the mark, and then we overachieve all day long. We are looking for 100% participation from the audience, and this is going to be something that will give us the ability to make sure that these kids, these families, always have what they need. And we have one more ask for you. We'll be sharing photos throughout the day. If you guys want to be involved, we have today's event on Instagram. I don't know if you guys are hip. It's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff, and we are going to be on. So make sure you find us at Mom and Dad's Awards using hashtag Father of the Year so you can get involved. So post your pictures, tag us, and we're going to repost. All right, so I promise not to make too many dad jokes. I know this is the Father of the Year Awards, but I've already had a few dads submit some. So if I do tell a bad one, it's not mine. I'm just repeating what I've heard. But we know promises are like babies. They're easy to make, hard to deliver. So I don't know if I'll keep that promise. Now I want to kick off the honorary ceremony by welcoming Sunil Sani, president of CGS Investments, Inc., who will be presenting the 2023 Ashok C. Sani All-Star Dad Award, sponsored by Men's Health and the Sani Family Foundation.
Thank you, Nate. Ashok Sani was a beloved husband and father and my uncle. While he considered his family to be his calling, he also had a deep commitment to giving equal recognition to all. His interests in ethics, truth, love, peace, nonviolence, compassion, and moral and social responsibilities all live on through the Ashok Sani Scholar in Residence Program at New York University and today's Ashok Sani All-Star Dad Award. In the spirit of my uncle, Men's Health invited its readers to submit nominations for this year's All-Star Dad. The All-Star Dad Award honors a father who goes beyond being a responsible caregiver and a loving mentor. We look for a father who gives extraordinarily to his family and to the world around him, a man whose tireless efforts make life better for his children and his community. This year, the National Father's Day Committee, Men's Health, and the Sani Family Foundation have selected former U.S. Marine Tommy Parker as the 2023 Ashok Sani All-Star Dad. At this time, I would like to ask Nissa to come up and share why her stepdad deserved this honor.
My stepdad, Tommy Parker, is the bravest, funniest, hardworking man you will ever meet. In 2011, he deployed to Afghanistan on the war on terror. On December 10th, he was at the back of the patrol line and stepped on a bomb. He lost both of his legs, 4 fingers on his left hand, and from what he said, his purpose in life. After that, he tried drugs for the first time, but that was just the beginning. He was a drug addict for about 10 years and was completely lost in life. My mom grew up with Tommy, but after seeing my mom many years later, he instantly fell in love and found his purpose again. At that moment, he decided to change his life and how he lived it. He came into my life when me, my mom, and little brother were all struggling with a divorce. We were a broken family that had a missing piece. Tommy was the missing piece we never knew we needed. Tommy managed to completely turn his life around and earn back the respect from all of his family and friends and so many more, and is truly an inspiration. Now he goes to different schools and talks about his past with drug addiction and his story in life. He's a public speaker and an auctioneer for Warrior Rising and helps raise money for veterans and helps them reignite passion and purpose into their lives. He's a boxing coach for kids and volunteers anytime he can to help kids with sports. He has devoted his life to his family and his health. We were all lost before he came around, including him, and we didn't even know it. But once he did, everything seemed to fall into place, and we all felt at peace. He has helped so many people with suicide, addiction, and so much more. He thinks that he is just a regular man, but what he doesn't know is that he has inspired so many people, and in my opinion, is the definition of extraordinary.
I have to sit over here because I think I would look funny behind that podium. Give me a second. Okay. Before I say anything else, I want to say some thank yous. Thank you to Nissa for being brave enough to submit your essay. Thank you to Sunil and his family for continuing to highlight men like your uncle. Thank you to the Father's Day Council for choosing me to be this year's All-Star Dad. And lastly, thank you to all of you here in attendance. Thank you for sharing this day with me. It's truly an honor. After I got injured, I honestly believed that I would eventually die alone. I lost all confidence and perceived value of self, which was then compounded by the fact that I let my ravenous drug addiction dictate every action of my life for almost a decade. I let it turn me into somebody that had no place in society, let alone somebody that should be a father. I was a person that could barely take care of themselves, but all of that shortly changed after I crossed paths with Dara again. She found me at one of the darkest points in my life and took a chance on me. Her leap of faith afforded me an opportunity to be something that didn't seem real at first. She saw a person that she wanted in her life and her children's lives. I wasn't sure how it was going to work, how I was going to overcome this addiction that I'd let almost break me. Better yet, were the kids going to accept me into their lives? After all, it is entirely up to them. I had stepdads when I was a kid, 2 of them, men that at different points in time I hated. For all types of reasons, I thought. Come to find out, I just hated them because they weren't my real dad, who wasn't able to be around because he was battling his own addictions. So I came into this with a preconceived notion that children hate step-parents. But they accepted me and happily took me in as a bonus dad. Being viewed as a dad, to me, is an even higher honor than when I was made a Marine. To be a good stepdad, the kids should respect you and like you. They have to see you as somebody they can bring their problems to, someone they can confide in. For me to do that, I had to evolve rapidly. When they accepted me in their lives, they were old enough to be able to see flaws in my character. The junkie version of me couldn't have done this, so I had to be different for them. When I started writing this, Dara asked me what it was like to be a father. I said, insightful, empowering, and rewarding. It's insightful because your kids are going to emulate you. They're going to take parts of your personality and magnify it as they try to bring it into their own. Which made me want to fix every broken part of me. It made me want to mold myself into a man that I would be proud of my daughter marrying. A man that I would be proud to call my son. Most importantly, a man that I would have wanted to raise me. Thankfully, I had the most powerful motivating factor anybody could ask for. I had them. They empowered me to seek growth. Being in their lives helped me push beyond. I lost my spot. Sorry, I'm honestly up here trying not to cry. My daughter did an incredible job. Pushed me beyond what I thought I could be. Personal growth is just one of the rewards that I've gotten from being a father. and it's honestly towards the bottom of the list. Watching them struggle as they take on their own adversities, being there to help them out, help them up, and dust them off, sometimes metaphorically and sometimes literally, has been the most rewarding part. I have to live a life that I would be proud of, and they would be proud of. To do that, I have to try. That's it. I have to wake up every morning and try to be better than I was yesterday. I have to push beyond what I believe I am capable of, because I expect them to do the same. I can't let anything get in the way of that. Whenever we go on trips, there is always something that we do that isn't designed for people like me. It might be the only way to get there is to go upstairs, or that there's a desert of sand laid out before me. And in case you guys didn't know, most wheelchairs don't like sand. So I choose to crawl on the ground like a gorilla, so I can go, so I can be there to make memories with them, so I can watch them do things that they're scared to do, like I watched my daughter today. So I can watch them take on challenges that they don't think they can complete, and watch them succeed. I try to live my life in a way that showcases through action that you can truly do anything you want to. You just have to try. I don't believe in the word can't. Can't is a word that directly combats belief. When someone says that you can't do something, they don't believe that you can. When you say you can't do something, you don't believe in yourself. That's not okay. I was told a lot of things I couldn't do after I got injured. People told me I couldn't get sober. I told myself I couldn't get sober. I did, though. I told myself I can't be a father. I can't become a man like that. Not anymore. Luckily, Dara saw otherwise, and she believed I could. Her belief was my initial catalyst for change. It was also what made me stop saying I can't. She offered me an opportunity to see if I could. The years that followed showed me I can. It all just comes back to effort, to trying. I must continue to try day in and day out to instill that belief in my children, that anything is possible through effort. I owe that to them, as all parents do. This just means a lot to me because whether they know it or not, they saved my life.
That was powerful. Congratulations again, Tommy. Man, life is seasonal. I think we all know that. Sometimes it rains harder in certain seasons, storms come. But Tommy, thank you for shining your light on the rest of the world, especially after everything you have been through. I appreciate you. You are one of our heroes. Okay, let's get back to this text to pledge. We're not done, and don't think I'm done harassing you. We're going to keep this thing going, and remember, it's not going to be charged to your carrier. It will send you some prompts. It's easy to follow. Come on now. All them Amazon boxes that show up on your doorstep, spending all that money on coffee, food, all that stuff you guys do, shopping, kicking it, them Uber rides. Just think about that money that we waste and the money that we could use that can help these kids. So let's see how much we have raised so far. I want to get this exact number. Can we pop this up? Oh, there it is, 20,000 right behind my head. Okay, 21,000, that's going up fast. So what do we say? What should we try to aim for? Should we try to aim for 30, 40, 50, 100? I mean, we should aim high, right? I'll say let's try to aim for $100,000. That's what I'm talking about, yeah. So then you can sound really cool around your kids. You can say, I kept it 100 with Nate Burleson, and you really meant it. The common denominator is the kids, and that's exactly what we're focusing on. And a little math fact, there is a really thin line between a numerator and a denominator, but only a fraction of you will get that. And if you didn't laugh, you failed at math. All right, so let's keep this thing going. Our next honoree is a Tony Award-winning actor. Emmy nominee Matthew Broderick. And looking back at the organization, yeah, definitely give it up for that. And here's what's cool about this. In looking back at the organization's history, we discovered that James Broderick, Matthew's father, was honored in 1977. And here he is, holding his award beside his daughter, Matthew's sister, Janet. Now, we're not really sure what type of award he's holding. Looks like the Tin Man got hit by a cement truck. Or like that leftover food that's wrapped in aluminum foil that you put in the back of the refrigerator. But don't worry, Matthew. We have a much nicer award for you. We have upgraded since then. Now I'd like to welcome Matthew's son, James, to the podium to present this honor to his father.
Hey, that's really hard to follow up the last speech. It's like one of the nicest things I've ever heard, so that's it. And I also didn't know how many people were gonna be here, and I would have planned a little bit better. I mean, like, the speech made me think, like, I'm just, like, stupidly, obviously very lucky to have my dad and to have my family and everything like that, so I'll just, like, say a few memories and thoughts. First of all, he tied my tie on the first floor of this building on the way here. I still don't know how to do it, and also I kind of like that he does it for me. It's really sweet. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to visit my dad at work, which meant going to like a show he was in. And what I'll never forget, and that he still does, even though I'm much older now, is right when he's bowing at the end of the show and there's a lot of lights over, he covers his brow to find me in the audience and will wave at me, and sometimes it's like a photo finish and the curtain's about to close and he always finds me right by the end. And like the amount of times he would wave at me, sorry, I just have a cold. He would wave at me and come pick me up after the show and put me on his shoulders and walk me around Times Square. I'll never forget things like that. I'm extremely lucky all the times going to Citi Field, Shea Stadium, sorry, Mr. K. Yeah, all the things he's shown me, I'm so lucky. I wish I had something more complicated to say, but after that, I think it's like very simple. I'm super lucky, and now I'm nervous that I need to win this award one day because it's a lot of pressure now. So, yeah. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Let me go ahead and wipe this off just a little bit since I'm joking. I'm good, I'm vaccinated. I'll be all right. All right, please welcome and congratulations to his father, Matthew Broderick, as a 2023 Father of the Year honoree.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you, James. Take your time before being Father of the Year. You don't have to be a father right away. You know, you're 20, you know. I don't have an iPad. I'm so, first of all, thrilled to be included in this group, and what just happened was beautiful, and also you, James, and just thank you, everybody. I was thinking about what do fathers do, you know, and Jerry Seinfeld said one time, sometimes he's at the table with his kids. This is when they were very little. He'd say he'd be eating, and they'd be eating, and they'd kind of be looking at him, and they looked at him like, what do you do here? You know, what's your job exactly? And I know that feeling too. And then I thought of things that my own father did, came to mind. When I was at school, when I was very little, I got an asthma attack. I didn't even know that's what it was. I was 5 or 6, and my dad came running to the school, picked me up on his shoulders, and basically walked me through Greenwich Village, feeding me Milk Duds, which he thought would cure asthma, and but it did. I mean, I'm here. And I remember watching him play chess at Washington Square. I remember him terrorizing me one time. We got home from school, I think, and he had forgotten the key to our apartment. So he decided there was a little window next to the elevator. So he climbed out the window and climbed along the edge of the building to get into our bedroom, 5 stories high, while his little boy waited hoping that he didn't fall. So that's the kind of thing fathers do too. They scare the hell out of their children sometimes. He watched every play I did. What he did was love me and take care of me in his way, and I adored him. So I'm so thrilled to see his picture. That's my sister, Martha, not Janet. That's another sister, Martha. And she told me about that. I showed her that picture, and she said, "Oh, that was such a great day. I remember I was so nervous about, what to wear. Did I look all right?" And I asked Dad, "Does this look all right?" And he said, "It doesn't matter. I look beautiful." And as for my own self being a dad, I can just tell you, from the minute it happened, I loved it. I remember when James was under the heating lamp right after he was born, like a sandwich at a deli. And God, it changes your life in an instant. And nobody tells you how to do it, but you do it. And the same thing when his sisters came later. I absolutely love my children, and I'm just trying to figure out how to be a father with them, and I try to learn, from them. I probably learn more from them than they do from me even. I just find them fascinating, and I try to put as much time in as I can, and I try to make it up as I go along, because it changes. As all of us know, parenting just changes all the time. But I think cooking helps, taking them to baseball games, plays, diners, museums, bike rides. This is my advice for fathers if you want to know how to be a father. And get pizza. Get them a lot of pizza. Bring pizza. And good luck. And I'm so incredibly honored. And to all you fathers and mothers and parents, it's such a wonderful journey. We're all very lucky, and I'm incredibly honored to be here with you guys. Thank you.
Oh man, milk duds to cure asthma? The 70s and the 80s were a trip. Think about it. I remember one time I was sick. I'm talking about really, really sick. And I thought I was gonna go to the clinic or something, maybe get some medicine, at least pop some pills. And my mom, she kept me home from school. And she said, "I'm gonna give you ginger ale, a can of chicken noodle soup, and you're gonna watch these soap operas." And that cold went away. I was at school the next day. Man, the 80s were a trip. Okay, let's keep this thing going. Our next honoree is the voice of the New York Yankees, Michael Kay. That's right, legend. To present him with this honor, please help me welcome in his wife Jody and his children, Callie and Charlie. I hope I said that right. Callie and Charlie. Come on. Oh, you want me to stretch? Oh, yeah. So the outfits they're wearing, we have a polo top with some khaki bottom. No. Stretching.
Thank you. I know you're a TV pro, so thank you so much, Nate. And thank you all for the honor. And you want to stand one on each side here? There are exactly 2 people in the world who know what it's like to have Michael Kay as their father. Who wants to go first? Callie, you want to go first and tell us what, let's see. Ooh, sorry. What it's like, or what your favorite thing about Daddy is? Is it, well, why don't you look at the crowd and I'll ask you, how's that? Is it when he puts on a pink velvet cowboy hat to go to a Taylor Swift concert with you? Or a black feather boa to go to a Harry Styles concert with you? Maybe he just likes these concerts. But I think it's because he loves you, right? And Charlie, is it when he takes you up into the booth at Yankee Stadium? Sorry, Mr. Broderick. To sit on his lap while he's announcing a game? Yeah. I know you made a couple of notes. You want to come over here? You want to share what you wrote? They're not shy at home, but I understand. You had something about sports. What did you want to say about sports? No. Well, a couple weeks ago, Michael was on a West Coast trip and got off his red eye from LA, and instead of going home, came straight to the ball field where Charlie's team was playing and rolled up with his roller suitcase in the suit that he had been wearing for at least 24 hours just so he could catch the last couple of innings of Charlie's game, right? Yeah. Can I pick you up? You don't want to say something about how he gets up super early even after a late game to walk you guys to the bus stop? Nothing? About how he gets, oh, he's inching closer to the mic. You can do it. Or how he gets on, he has a recliner, a big leather recliner. Stop. Every morning, no matter how tired he is, he gets in the chair. Stop it, Mom. Both kids climb on top of him, and then the dog, a 70-pound golden retriever on top of that. She's the only one not represented here today. And it's an example of how he's just so strong, and he can, and what a great chair that is. But also how he can just, despite having 2 jobs with the ESPN radio, sorry about this, and with the Yankees, he takes his 3rd job most seriously of all as a dad, and he seems to have an endless reservoir of energy and love for them. So I'm very lucky to be the mom in the story. So thank you very much, and congratulations, honey.
And kids, don't feel bad for not talking. Your dad talks for enough of you. Okay, let's give it up one more time for Michael Kay as 2023 Father of the Year honoree.
It's hard to believe that those are 2 children of broadcasters, but they do talk a lot at home. Thank you so much for this honor. Thank you to the council and to the fellow recipients. Tommy, obviously, what an incredible speech. Matthew and Jeff and Gio. I'm just honored to be with this incredible group. Tell you a quick story. Sitting in the back, and a lovely woman walks up to my daughter, and she whispers in her ear, "Congratulations for your grandfather winning this award." Yeah, I get that a lot. I started late in life. Callie was born when I was 52 years old. And Jody was, well, I shouldn't say what her age was, but she would not have fit the profile for Leonardo DiCaprio. So this is important to us. If you're going to do something this late, you better do it right. So I don't care that when we walk around the town where we live, they say, wow, your grandchildren are so beautiful. But you know what? With age comes wisdom. That's the way I look at it. If I'm a good dad, it's because of the role models that I had. My mother and father, we didn't have much, and they raised my sister Debbie and I, and they put all their energy into raising us. It was all about the children all the time. Everything they did was secondary, maybe even tertiary, and me and my sister, that was their world. And then I bring it right back to my sister, Debbie, and my brother-in-law, Peter, who are also here. They raised 3 children, 2 daughters and a son, and they turned out great. And they're like the uncles and aunts to my kids, but they're really cousins. But Debbie and Peter also, they took their life and they put it on the side, and they put everything into their children. So I thank you guys for being the role models that you are. You know what? This is the most important job that somebody could have. If you're going to have children, you might as well put your whole life and soul into it. And although I have several jobs, this is the one that matters the most. But what I have found out in being a parent, that you're probably only as good a parent as the parents of your kids' friends. Because you could say all the right things, and then Callie will come up to me, but Chloe's mommy lets her do that, and Juliet's dad lets her do that. So you have to wrangle against that. And the same thing with Charlie. He compares what we do to what the friends do, but you have to find your own way. And I think that every parent in here kind of knows one thing. We're all flying blind. You could read all the books you want. It's all pick and choose, and you hope that it turns out okay. And I hope that 20 years from now, I can come up here, maybe get a second award and go, you know, you did good. I don't know. Right now, they seem like they're okay, a little shy, but we could work through that. And in finishing, I'm accepting this award, but I have to be totally honest with you. I accept this award with my wife. She gave up a successful broadcasting career to be a mom. She waited a long time for this as well, and the time and effort that she puts in, it's amazing. It really is. She puts everything to the side. She puts her own needs to the side. It's all about driving Charlie to Little League. It's driving Callie to chorus and gymnastics and things like that. It is a full-time job, but I know what she gave up in order to be great at that. So I look at it this way. If I'm a good dad, it's because she's an amazing, amazing mom. So thank you, Jody. This is an absolutely wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much for including me. I wonder, why did I get chosen? But you know what? I'll take it. Thank you so, so much.
Now, I did see the note that Charlie wrote. He told me not to read it, so I'm not going to say anything. But I will say you might want to hang it on the fridge. It made my heart melt. So congratulations once again. That's what it's all about. It's about helping the young generation, whether it's your family or not. And to the kids out there, put yourself around good people that are trying to do good things. You know, I once heard birds of a feather flock together. So make sure you're with the flock that is making change. And I'll empty the bag and give you one last dad joke, and this one's for the kids, speaking of feathers. Why do ducks have feathers? To cover their butt quacks. I got a little giggle. All right, cool. All right, that was terrible. My bad. All right, let's keep this going. Our final honorees are Jeff Gannett and Gio Welch. Please welcome their daughter, Jude, to present this honor to her fathers. That is a beautiful outfit, by the way. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jude Welch, daughter of Jeff Welch and Jeff Gannett. Why is my last name Welch? Or rather, why don't we all have the same last name? For clarity, it was decided that two Jeff Gannetts or two Jeff Welches would be way too confusing. So my parents kept their own separate last names. Me and my friends just call them the Jeffs. Are they similar? Yes and no. I would say their personalities are distinctly different, but they may be slowly morphing into each other. For starters, they are in lockstep about everything, and any deliberation, if I've asked for something, happens behind the scenes. Where slight variations in drink or food orders, Gio once preferred Cosmopolitans or Bellinis, while Jeff tended to gravitate towards gin and tonics. Gio likes chicken, Jeff likes steak. More often than not today will be identical orders, followed by a light, hey, I was going to get that. Judith, do you think we're too similar? One of my favorite things about my parents is how curious they are. They are hyper involved in all of my drama and has taught me to be a really open, communicative person and the value of asking questions. Another thing, from a young age, I was tasked with doing the dishes. This is small, but today my autopilot is to draw people out and to do the dishes directly after eating. Thank you, Jeffs. These skills have made me an invaluable roommate. We have lived in 4 different states together over the years with family traditions in each. One of my favorite traditions, nearly every day after school, no matter where we lived, Gio would take me somewhere for a treat. For example, in San Francisco, I'd either get a Safeway Krispy Kreme, Gio would always get the chocolate iced custard-filled donut, a muffin or a crepe from Japantown, which was conveniently next to my favorite knick-knack store, and we needed to stop in and just look. There was Lovejoy's Tea Room, which had little tea sandwiches and scones and pedophores, and all of the plates and cups were mismatched like in Alice in Wonderland. We could go to a French bakery called La Boulangerie, if I could pronounce it right. That was the rule. Another favorite activity was going to the Blockbuster video store. I loved Blockbuster. The Jeffs have bestowed on me an intense love for movies. One of the most influential things anyone has ever done for me was when my dad showed me Hayao Miyazaki's film, Spirited Away. It is still my favorite movie today. Me and Jeff used to go on solo adventures where we would leave Gio behind for the day and go to the movies. I was spoiled as a child. Jeff, a collector of antique books and lamps, supported my obsession with Japanese plastic toy figurines, in particular, Owako erasers, to a degree, in retrospect, I can only view as gluttony. But I will keep this in mind if I have a child of my own, the joy they brought me to indulge them. I deeply love my parents, but more than love, I like them. I think of them as friends. They are a great company to have a margarita with, and I'm so grateful for all that they have shown me and the vibrant life they have given me. Without further ado, the Jeffs.
All right, well, thank you, honey. You're right over there. We're so proud of you. So Jeff and I met in 1991, and on our second date, we talked about wanting to be dads, and we discovered that it was a dream for both of us.
But in the 90s, two gay men thinking about fatherhood was just that. It was a dream. We might as well be living on Mars at that point. We explored a lot of options. We explored adoption, both here in the US and abroad, but it was a lot of dead ends. So finally, Jeff's mom, who's a nurse, suggested we try surrogacy. And when we did, everything changed. We joined an agency and we were matched with a wonderful, committed mother who had already started a family of her own and wanted to help a couple start theirs. We had a lot of questions when it came to that, like, well, what if Amy gets pregnant and she decides she doesn't want to give the child to us? She wants to keep the child. When we finally did meet Amy, it was interesting because her very first question to us is, if I get pregnant, how do I know you boys want to keep this child? Lots of discussions. She agreed to help us and work with us, and so our journey to fatherhood was getting closer. It took Amy 11 tries to get pregnant. There were a lot of ups and downs, but when she delivered, that was all in the rearview mirror. It was such an amazing day, Judith's birth. We spent hours calling friends and family and excited about the new day, and then at the end of the day, we all crashed. And we were staying in a hospital room that was adjoining Amy's hospital room. So that night, that first night, Judith was crying, and I slept right through it. We didn't even hear it.
We didn't.
And Amy says from the other room, "Hey boys, get up, your baby's crying." And that's the day we became fathers.
It's very true. And so, so as new dads, it was a very steep learning curve, particularly for me. So we had many, many years of planning of how we were going to do this, and we thought, hey, let's do this 50-50, 50-50 split. That plan lasted exactly 1 week. I had a very difficult, the work was just incredibly enriching, but also challenging, lots of travel, and Judith was nocturnal. Just basically was, and I was on night duty and I did a bad job of it. So Gio took over, and you left a successful job. And when we had Jude, we thought that Gio would go back to freelance. And we thought that it wasn't going to be his total focus. And we decided over time that it was going to be that for him. And what I admired about Gio was just how completely natural it was to be this parent. I mean, I didn't know where it came from. I'd been with him for 9 years. And I was like on training wheels. And you just took it so naturally. And to this day, you were and you are my role model as a parent.
It was a learning curve for both of us. But something happened when I first had Judith in my arms. I don't know, it just clicked. Something intrinsic, and I just loved being a dad. Happiest days ever. And you're right, I thought, well, maybe I'll go back to work and restart my business in 6 months or a year. But when that time came around, I didn't want to stop doing what we were doing because it took us so long to get to this point. You know, and it worked out best. We could share child rearing. You could grow your career. We were moving from state to state. You would find a new position in a new city. You'd leave. I'd go pack bags and find new schools.
See, Terry, you had something to do with that.
But, you know, and I was conflicted, crisscrossing the country and uprooting our daughter, but she tells us now that she thought it was a big adventure, going to new places and meeting new people. So it actually turned out wonderful.
And early fatherhood for me was a wonderful time. So I'd get home from work and I would want to cram in as much opportunities with Judith as possible. We had our favorite books. I think as many parents in the room will know, the entire library of Berenstain Bears by heart. You know, we had our favorite outings. I knew every inch of the San Francisco Zoo. She was particularly fond of the lemurs and the meerkats. And of course, we had great adventures that we shared. Now, I grew up in Southern California, so I was always very big on Disneyland and couldn't wait to take our daughter there for the first trip to Disneyland. So she was young and we were ready, and her older cousins had really filled her head with all the stories about the Haunted Mansion. You got to start at the Haunted Mansion. So we started at the Haunted Mansion. And we were in that line for 2+ hours, and we were going, and she was talking, and she was chatting, and as we got close, and we got into the lobby, and she started to hear the spooky music, and she got real quiet. And she basically turns to me, and she says, I don't want to go in. And my alpha male took over. And I basically said, what do you mean you don't want to go in? We've been waiting in this line for like 2 hours. Look at that brave little boy. He's going in. And that brave little girl, that we can do this. We're going to go through this. We're going to get through this. Let's do this together. Nothing budged her. She stood perfectly still. She took my hand. She looked up and she said, Papa, I know you're discouraged. I know that, but I'm 4. And I'm not comfortable doing this. We'll come back when I'm older. Are you okay with this? And I will tell you, our kid flipped it. She was the parent, and I was sitting there as the child. I was like dumbfounded. It was this epiphany. And it was a moment where I was so prideful of the way my kid, the sentient being that she was becoming.
I didn't teach her to say that. That was her San Francisco preschool, I think.
And it was the first of very many, many moments where Judith has known her center. She's held her ground. She's forged her own path forward. And you know, and I, as a helicopter parent, have done my best to kind of get out of her way and let her lead. You know, as parents, Gio and I, we've always had the same goals. To show Jude love and to show her respect and partnership is just a constant in life, and hoping to get her the tools and the support so that she could develop her own compass to make good choices for herself. You know, as I think we've heard from a couple of the great dads tonight, or this afternoon, we've been asked the question about, you know, what is it that surprised you about fatherhood? For me, it was what people have said, and this may be cliche, was that overwhelming feeling of love that you have for this little being and how that never goes away.
For me, I had insecurities. Once we found out we were having a girl, my first thought was, I don't know how to do a girl's hair. I don't know how to dress a girl. Parents are going to judge her and me. But the surprise and the relief is that we had a daughter that has artistic sensibility and her own sense of style. All I needed to do was step out of the way and let her do it. The other surprise was our friend group. We, at the time, None of our friends had kids. So we ended up hanging out with moms and dads that had kids Jude's age, and it turned out to be wonderful. We made so many wonderful lifelong friendships. It was beautiful.
As a family, we're pretty traditional. We have dinner together every night at 7 o'clock. There's homework, there's chores, movie night. It's family day on Sundays. Think Leave It to Beaver with a twist. And as a couple, Gio and I have been together for 32 years, the last 10 legally married. And we're fortunate to have realized so many. We're fortunate to have realized so many dreams that both of us wanted when we started out, to find love and partnership, to find fulfilling work, to have great times with friends and family. But our biggest dream was to create a family. And Jude, you make that came true for us.
Jude, last month you graduated college. Congratulations. We're so proud of you. And now you're starting your next chapter, and we're proud of who you are and excited to see what your next chapter is going to look like. We love you, sweetie.
We love you. In closing, I would like to thank my Macy's family at tables 10 and 5, and Sam Archibald for being the co-chair tonight and talking us into doing this. And also Elwin Mapps, who's now joining the Father's Day Council. Just congratulations to the Inspiring Stories and the other dads, and everybody here for all the support of saving the children. Thank you for this honor, and everybody, happy Father's Day.
All right, I believe that is it for me tonight. I appreciate you guys listening to me, and congratulations to once again to all of the fathers that were honorees tonight. Should I end with one last dad joke? Yeah. You guys on the fence about that one, huh? Okay, you want to hear my joke about construction? Sorry, I can't. I'm still working on it.
Nate, wow, thank you. Thrilled you could be here today with us. Big round of applause for Nate Burleson. Okay, oh, it is right behind my head, Nate. Look at that. All right. 44? All right, almost halfway there. Sam, you're better at math than me. Where are we here? 1.92. Sam says we can get to 2. All right. We broke 1.9. Congratulations, everybody. Amazing. Amazing. I think Sam's referring to Text the Pledge is open all day, so please continue to donate. Thank you. To our 2023 Father of the Year honorees, I would like to extend one final congratulations to you all. We're honored that you could join us here today. Thanks again, everyone, for coming and taking the time to honor these outstanding fathers. This concludes our event. Have a great day, and happy Father's Day to all. That's not me. This is for the record books here. Happy Father's Day.